Welcome to IE News and to our viewers on IETVTT.com. I am Micah Dume. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, Prime Minister extends Eid al-Adha greetings and calls for unity and compassion. Kai Sealy faces additional firearm charges in Joshua Samaru shooting case. Teen sanitation worker killed in tragic garbage truck accident in Caroni. In our top story, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has extended Eid al-Adha greetings to the Muslim community, calling on citizens to embrace the values of faith, sacrifice, compassion, and unity during the sacred observance. In a message issued on May 26, the Prime Minister described Eid al-Adha as the greater of the two Islamic Eids, marking the culmination of the Hajj pilgrimage and a time for prayer, reflection, gratitude, and spiritual renewal. Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar reflected on the story of Prophet Ibrahim and his willingness to sacrifice his son, Prophet Ishmael, in obedience to Almighty Allah's command, describing it as a timeless example of devotion, humility, and unwavering faith. Quoting from the Holy Quran, the Prime Minister noted that true faith is measured not by ritual alone, but through sincerity, pity, and compassion towards others. She also acknowledged that Muslims across Trinidad and Tobago would gather and in their homes for prayer, fellowship, and the sacred tradition of Qurbani, which symbolizes sacrifice and charity. The Prime Minister said the sharing of food and assistance with relatives, neighbors, and those in need reflects the enduring spirit of community and social solidarity associated with Eid al-Adha. She further extended prayers and well wishes to pilgrims from Trinidad and Tobago who traveled to the holy city of Mecca for Hajj this year, describing the pilgrimage as a profound spiritual journey rooted in humility, endurance, and devotion. While recognizing the joy of the occasion, she also noted that many people around the world continue to face hardship and uncertainty, adding that Eid al-Adha serves as a reminder of the importance of peace, compassion, and human dignity. On behalf of the government and people of Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister wished the Muslim community a peaceful and blessed Eid al-Adha celebration, ending her message with Eid Mubarak and Hajj Mubarak. 24-year-old Kai Sealy is now facing additional firearm and ammunition charges in connection with the police shooting incident that left 31-year-old Joshua Samaru dead and sparked national controversy earlier this year. Kai Sealy appeared virtually before a master court on Tuesday, May 26th, where prosecutors laid 4 new charges against her. The additional offenses include possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, possession of a firearm to endanger life, and discharging a firearm within 40 meters of a public place. Sealy had already been charged with manslaughter and 3 counts of shooting with intent to cause grievous bodily harm at police officers arising out of the January 20th police-involved shooting in St. Augustine that claimed the life of Joshua Samaru. The case attracted widespread public attention after CCTV footage circulated online appearing to contradict the initial police account of the shooting. Police confirmed that while warrants have been issued for some of the new offenses, they have not yet been executed as Sealy remains outside Trinidad and Tobago undergoing medical treatment in the United States. The latest developments come days after Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara announced that investigators had received legal advice from the Director of Public Prosecutions to proceed with criminal charges. Authorities are also expected to utilize the central authority under the Ministry of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs in efforts to secure Sealy's return to Trinidad and Tobago. Another hearing in the matter is expected on Monday. A tragic workplace accident has claimed the life of 19-year-old Deshaun Joseph after he was fatally injured while working aboard a garbage truck in Kelly Village, Caroni. According to reports, the incident occurred around 9:12 p.m. on Tuesday while Joseph of Claxton Bay was carrying out sanitation duties alongside a garbage collection crew. Investigators say CCTV footage reportedly captured the horrifying moments leading up to the teen's death. The footage allegedly shows the garbage truck reversing along a roadway when Joseph jumped from the moving vehicle and ran to retrieve a bag of garbage nearby. Seconds later, the truck reportedly struck the teenager, pulling him beneath the vehicle where he was crushed. Joseph died at the scene. Police officers attached to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Caroni Police Station are continuing investigations. We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
Perfection doesn't happen by chance. Like an artist, the cook selects the main ingredient, one that is worthy of a proud cultural tradition. Trusted to enhance your creations with its richness and versatility. To create a cooking masterpiece, the secret is simple. The brand we know, the brand we trust, the brand our ancestors have been using for generations.
There is only one pure cow brand ghee. Look for the marks of authenticity.
Tile Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampus 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
Welcome back. An autopsy has confirmed that 35-year-old Adrian Peter Duff died from ligature strangulation and multiple stab wounds after his body was discovered hidden in bushes in Las Lomas. The post-mortem examination conducted on Monday at the Forensic Science Center revealed that Duff had been strangled with an object tied around his neck and also stabbed several times about the body. Duff of Las Lomas No. 3 was found dead on Wednesday, May 20th, following an intense search by relatives and police in heavily forested areas near Esperanza Trace. According to relatives, Duff contacted the police command center on Monday, May 18th, claiming he had been chopped and was trapped inside a cocoa field before communication was suddenly lost. The desperate search that followed led relatives to discover his burnt bicycle near a recently extinguished bushfire, along with bloodstains, pieces of wood, and a rope near a riverbank. Days later, Duff's body was discovered concealed in bushes, bearing multiple injuries, bringing a tragic end to the search effort. Officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service are continuing investigations into the killing. Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism Satyakama Maharaj says Trinidad and Tobago's long-term economic future depends on reducing its dependence on the energy sector and accelerating growth in non-energy industries. Here's more.
Speaking during the ministry's one-year review held under the theme Diversification and Action, Driving Economic Growth Beyond Energy, the minister outlined the government's plans to strengthen investment, expand tourism, improve exports, and create a more competitive business environment. Minister Maharaj said economic diversification remains critical to ensuring sustainable growth and resilience, particularly as global energy markets continue to fluctuate. He noted that the government is focused on developing sectors outside of oil and gas to generate new opportunities, attract investment, and create jobs for citizens. The minister added that efforts are also being directed toward improving the ease of doing business, strengthening trade opportunities, and positioning Trinidad and Tobago as a more attractive destination for both regional and international investors. He said the ministry's strategy centers on building a modern and competitive economy capable of sustaining long-term development beyond the traditional energy sector.
Today is not simply a report on activities undertaken over the past year. It is a report on the beginning of a new framework for economic transformation, institutional alignment, and national development. In many respects, this manner of reporting by a minister and a ministry may be somewhat unique, but by the end of today's presentations, I believe you will better understand not only what we have done, but more importantly, why we have done it. But our country also possesses enormous untapped potential in the non-energy sectors. Transformation and development of the non-energy sectors is about building a more balanced, resilient, and sustainable economy capable of generating broader opportunities, stronger foreign exchange earnings, increased competitiveness, and long-term national stability. Because countries do not transform by accident.
The Ministry of Finance has extended the deadline for mandatory registration under the Landlord Business Surcharge to June 30th, 2026. Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku said the extension follows consultations with stakeholders and is intended to give citizens more time to organize the required documents while authorities continue improving the registration process. The previous deadline had been set for May 30th, 2026. The Ministry's Inland Revenue Division is reminding the public that all persons earning rental income, including landlords, property owners, and rent collecting agents, whether based in Trinidad and Tobago or abroad, are required to register under the system. Officials said a one-time registration fee of $2,500 applies. Under the surcharge structure, quarterly rates have been set at a 2.5% for gross rental income of TT 20,000 or less and 3.5% for gross rental income exceeding TT $20,000. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles is calling for urgent reform on police oversight laws, warning that Trinidad and Tobago must not become what she described as an unchecked police state. Here's more.
In a statement issued on May 26th, Beckles accused Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the government of failing to address growing public concerns surrounding police accountability, transparency, and national security. Opposition leader Beckles specifically called for amendments to legislation governing the Police Complaints Authority, arguing that the body should be granted stronger investigative powers similar to Jamaica's Independent Commission of Investigations, commonly known as INDICOM. According to Beckles, the proposed reforms would allow PCA investigators to immediately secure evidence at scenes involving police killings and gain faster access to critical information during investigations. The opposition leader also renewed calls for mandatory body-worn cameras for police officers and all law enforcement agencies authorized to use force, saying the measure would improve transparency and accountability while protecting both civilians and officers. She criticized Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander over the cancellation of the procurement process for body cameras, claiming the public has not yet received a proper explanation despite ongoing concerns over violent crime and police operations during the state of emergency. She further accused the government of avoiding accountability while public trust in law enforcement continues to erode. Referencing concerns surrounding the Kai Sili matter and the police killing of Joshua Samru, Beckles argued that stronger oversight mechanisms are urgently needed. She also defended the role of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, describing it as one of the few institutions in which citizens still place confidence. The opposition leader ended by urging the Prime Minister to take direct action rather than relying on public statements and media responses as debate continues over policing, accountability, and public safety in Trinidad and Tobago.
You're watching IE News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Are you renewing your motor, homeowner or business insurances shortly? Then call Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, for a competitive quote. With 2 locations, Todd Street, El Socorro and 5 Rivers, Aruca. Please call us at 221-5051 or 227-5051. Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, building relationships exceeding expectations.
Welcome back. One person was killed after the United States military targeted a suspected narco-trafficking vessel during an operation in the Eastern Pacific on May 26th. According to United States Southern Command, The operation was carried out by Joint Task Force Southern Spear under the direction of Commander Gen. Francis L. Donovan. Officials said intelligence reports identified the vessel traveling along known drug trafficking routes in the Eastern Pacific and alleged that it was connected to designated terrorist organizations involved in narco-trafficking activities. Military authorities stated that one suspected narco-terrorist was killed during the strike, while 2 other individuals survived the encounter. Following the operation, the United States Coast Guard was notified to initiate search and rescue procedures for the survivors. Officials also confirmed that no U.S. personnel were injured during the operation. Let's now take a look at some international news.
Tonight, 1 dead, 9 missing, and multiple people critically injured after a frightening incident at a pulp and paper mill in southwest Washington state.
It looks like there's 3 people with chemical burns and 1 subject is missing.
First responders racing to Nippon Dynawave Packaging Company around 7:15 a.m. as a tank containing hazardous liquid known as white liquor had ruptured. Photos obtained by Cowlitz County News, a citizen-run Facebook news site, appear to show the crumpled tank, vehicles flipped over and crushed. The substance in the tank is a mixture of chemicals that can burn the skin on contact or burn the lungs if inhaled.
It was roughly an 80,000 gallon tank that was roughly 60% full.
10 people rushed to the hospital, 9 employees and 1 a firefighter.
The people who were responders here have friends and relatives that work on site.
Meantime, this all comes as thousands of people near Los Angeles have been living in fear of a massive toxic explosion there. This industrial tank in Garden Grove, filled with 7,000 gallons of a flammable toxic chemical called methyl methacrylate, was on the verge of blowing up all weekend. But Monday, officials announced a crack had formed on the tank that relieved the pressure.
What they hope is that the chemical inside that tank will solidify and turn into a solid. Then we will not have any threat whatsoever.
Today, officials say so far none of the chemicals have leaked out, and atmospheric monitoring shows nothing harmful in the air.
Tonight, President Trump leaving Walter Reed Medical Center after a 3-hour visit, his 3rd in the last 13 months, declaring himself in good health. The White House says he underwent routine annual dental and medical assessments as part of his regular preventative health care. President Trump, who will turn 80 in June, writing on social media, everything checked out perfectly. But tonight, no further details from the president's doctor. It comes amid questions about the president's health. Photos showing bruising on his hands, which he has been covering with makeup. The White House has said it's from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin. President Trump has also been spotted with swollen legs, which the president's doctor said is a result of chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition. Earlier this year, the president revealed he received a CT scan in October after the White House initially said it was an MRI. The president's doctor said the imaging was preventative and his cardiovascular system shows excellent health. After this most recent doctor's visit at Walter Reed today, the president heading back to the White House as tensions escalate with Iran. Over the weekend, President Trump praising the negotiations, saying the 2 sides were getting a lot closer to a deal. But then just hours after negotiators arrived in Qatar, the U.S. launching strikes on southern Iran. Tonight, U.S. officials calling it self-defense, saying they detected alarming activity over the past 24 hours. Iranian boats trying to lay mines near the Strait of Hormuz. Iran Supreme Leader vowing retaliation, saying the region will no longer be a shield for American bases.
When we return, your weather updates and more, stay tuned.
Introducing Signature Marine Coatings. We bring you premium marine solutions powered by PPG coatings, including anti-fouling protection, high-grade epoxy systems, fiberglass materials, and complete marine refinishing supplies. Protect, enhance, and maximize the performance of your vessel with products you can trust. Get the finish your vessel deserves. We are located at Tardy Marine Limited in Chagaramas. Call us today at 2900-654 or email at signaturepaints@hotmail.com.
Let's do India and Nepal, a soulful journey across timeless destinations. Delhi, Kathmandu, Varanasi, Ayodhya, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Agra, and Jaipur. August 12th to 28th. Presented by Pandit Omarat. Call 681-3476 to book now. Not just a trip, it's a spiritual and cultural experience.
Welcome back to IET Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast.
Today was generally cloudy and breezy across Trinidad and Tobago with periods of light rain and a few scattered showers affecting several areas during the morning hours. Conditions remain mostly overcast through the day, although there were occasional brighter intervals. Temperatures reached near 31 degrees in some districts, while overnight lows are expected around 24 degrees. Winds were moderate to fresh at times, especially in coastal and offshore areas. Sea conditions remained moderate, occasionally choppy offshore with waves between 2.0 and 2.5 meters in open waters and near 1.0 to 1.5 meters in sheltered areas. Tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy conditions are expected to continue with the chance of a few lingering showers, particularly during the late evening and overnight period. Marine conditions will remain moderate to occasionally rough offshore. Easterly winds are expected between 15 and 20 knots, with seas near 2.0 meters offshore and occasionally higher in rougher conditions. Boaters and seabathers are advised to exercise caution. For Thursday, expect mostly cloudy and breezy conditions with the likelihood of scattered showers during the day. There may also be brief periods of rain in some areas, particularly during the morning and early afternoon. Despite the cloudiness, temperatures are still expected to climb into the low 30s Celsius. By evening, conditions are forecast to become partly cloudy with isolated showers. Sea conditions are expected to remain moderate to occasionally choppy, with offshore waves reaching up to 2.5 meters and sheltered areas remaining near 1.5 meters.
Let's take a look at some crime news.
"30 persons were arrested and a total of 55 warrants executed during an intelligence-led warrant apprehension operation conducted by officers of the Central Division Warrants Department on Saturday, 23rd May. During the operation between 9 a.m. and 10 p.m., officers conducted several checks and inquiries across the division, resulting in the successful execution of 55 warrants and the arrest of 30 persons from areas including Siparia, Gasparillo, Couva, Cunupia, Marabella, Todd's Road, Freeport, Caripachima, Edinburgh 500, Tortuga, Caroni, St. Helena, and Maracas, St. Joseph. The warrants executed included 25 affiliation warrants, 24 first instance warrants, 6 traffic and court warrants. Among these arrested were persons wanted for offences including firearm-related offences, robbery, kidnapping, wounding, narcotics offences, larceny, traffic offences, and street offences. Several persons were also arrested in connection with outstanding affiliation and commitment warrants. This exercise coordinated by Senior Superintendent Bagwandine. Police seized the firearm, ammunition, and quantities of narcotics during exercises conducted in the Western and North Central Division. Between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. on May 23rd, an intelligence-led operation was conducted in areas south of the Northern Division by officers of the North Central Division Task Force, areas east and west, along with the K9 unit. During the exercise, officers proceeded to Phase 2 Lahokita, where they searched the home of a person of interest. Although nothing illegal was found at the residence, officers continued searches in the surrounding areas, including a nearby grassy open lot. There they discovered a Glock 40 pistol fitted with a magazine containing 41 rounds of .40 caliber ammunition. Officers also found a black plastic bag containing 15 transparent packages of cannabis, weighing a total of 440 grams. The items were seized and investigations are ongoing. In the Western Division between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. on the same day, officers received information relating to 4 cannabis trees allegedly planted along the Covine riverbank. Officers proceeded to the area where the plants were observed and removed. No suspects were seen in the area. In a separate exercise conducted between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m., officers of the Western Division Task Force acted on intelligence which led them to the Woodbrook Cemetery. During searches of several tombs, officers found a black plastic bag containing 4 transparent packets of cocaine weighing 25.1 grams. Investigations into these finds are continuing. 2 men were arrested while a farm of firearm, ammunition and narcotics was seized during an operation conducted by members of the Interagency Task Force. The exercise, which took place between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. on May 23rd, focused on the Port of Spain and Northeastern Divisions, with officers paying particular attention to several areas including Perry Lane, El Socorro, Aranguez and Belmont Valley Road. While in Belmont Valley Road, Belmont officers received information which led to the search of an abandoned structure. During the exercise, officers found a black plastic bag hidden beneath a galvanized sheet containing 1 pistol, 3 rounds of .32 caliber ammunition, 210 grams of cannabis and 110 grams of cocaine. Additionally, while patrolling Calcutta Street, Aranguez, officers stopped and searched a man and allegedly found 8 grams of cocaine in his possession. The 23-year-old suspect was arrested and later charged with possession of cocaine. At Perry Lane, El Socorro, officers arrested a man from a nearby address for possession of 65 grams of cannabis. A subsequent search of his home, however, yielded no additional illegal items. The operation was spearheaded by ACP Hazel and coordinated by Inspector Titus and Sergeant Bethelmy.
Recapping the headlines, Prime Minister extends Eid al-Adha greetings and calls for unity and compassion. Kai Sealy faces additional firearm charges in Joshua Samaru shooting case. Teen sanitation worker killed in tragic garbage truck accident in Caroni. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Micah Dume. Thank you for joining us.